You're listening to Planksty, a podcast exploring the rich tapestry of Irish dance and the community who loves it. Hosted by Julia Topper, ethnomusicologist, Irish dancer, music educator, and writer, and Kristo Sween, a 20-year Irish dance dad, live camera director for Fesh TV, and operations manager at the Celtic Junction Arts Center. Hi, Julia.
Hey, Kristo.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be having another Planksty podcast conversation with you.
This is great. I know we've talked about this for so long, and now here we are actually doing the thing.
Here we
It's
are.
amazing.
Yeah, it's good. And it's especially exciting today because we have our first guest.
Yes.
You brought this guy to us because you had the previous relationship. I'm glad to know him now. But
Yeah.
what inspired bringing on?
So I started
bringing
working
Scott
with
on?
Scott a couple years ago, and he's a mindset coach. He's obviously a world champion dancer, and he has just been a phenomenal resource for me in my dancing, and just also a really good friend. And I've just always been so impressed by all of his insights and his really creative approaches, both to teaching dance and to teaching mindset work. So I think it's just going to be so cool for people to get to hear him just talk at length about, all the things that he's done. And, he's just so inspiring. It'll be really awesome for people to get to listen to this.
I agree. It was fun to meet him and hear his origin story and so many things that are so relatable to everybody.
Absolutely.
I think that's sort of the key. Like, we're not as unique and weird as the Irish dance world is. It's like in it, we're not all that different from each other, and there isn't that much different that separates world champions from beginners. And so it's been fun to sort of see that perspective and his origin story and where
Absolutely.
it is now. So.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited for people to hear this interview. It was so cool.
Me too. All right, well, let's hit it. Here it is. So, welcome to the pod, Scott. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
I'm so excited to be chatting with you guys today. I know it took us a while to get our schedules lined up, but I'm hoping this is going to be worth the wait. That's for sure.
Well, I appreciate your flexibility, and I think we're all in a similar boat, being connected in various ways to the Irish dance world, and particularly following Worlds, which is the time frame that we're in right now as we sit down to have this conversation. So anyway, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're our
for joining
first
us.
guest, Scott. This is pretty exciting.
It's a pretty big deal.
I'm either going to set the bar high or just ruin it for everybody.
Well, I mean, before you
high reward.
Our decision was go big or go home when we start this thing up. So no pressure, but be big.
Well, we were hoping you could start off by just telling us, how did you come to this crazy world, your progression through it?
Yeah, I love it. And I love sharing my story because it's very important for anyone who knows me or has worked with me or anything, just to understand why I have this ingrained, oh my God, you can do it too. Like, I truly believe anybody can, because I started dancing when I was 6, so it's not like I got a late start or anything like that. I danced most of my life, and it was because my parents just made me. I didn't have a choice in it. I had an older cousin that danced. My mom loved it, so had my older siblings. They're twins, brother and sister, and then I have a twin sister as well. So like they started, then we started. We were the 4 dancing Dohertys all our lives. And to be honest, though, I was pretty bad, like for most of my life, like genuinely like bad. Like I have a few stories. Like one of my favorite ones was my very first nationals. Didn't do solos. We went and we did dramas, and it was a story of a wedding. And I think my brother and I might have been the only 2 boys in the school at the time. And the senior team, my brother was the groom, being the guy. And the junior team, I wasn't even allowed to be the groom, which was one of the featured roles. All I was allowed to do was I was the priest, and I came out, I danced 8 skip 2 3s out to the front. I blessed them, and then 8 skip 2 3s off, and that's all I was allowed to do. Like
Nice.
that's I'm surprised I was allowed to do that.
Play to
Um,
your strengths. I'm just
but
saying.
yeah, right. Like I was super short and really cute, and like it worked. So, um, but all sorts of things like that. I didn't go to my first international competition till I was a senior in high school,
Really.
and like I and to be clear, I qualified for the worlds every year of my life because in New England back then for my age group there wasn't anybody against me. It wasn't
Mhm.
because I was good; it's because I qualified by default.
Yeah.
But I I went to my first All Irelands, which nobody has to qualify for that, and I got second last overall. And like, no shame to anybody that gets that place. That somebody has to,
Right.
but I that's not great, right? Like that's in a competition you don't have to qualify for. Like that's hard to, especially for a guys competition back in like 2004. Like that's hard to do. Um, so like I didn't realize. I just kind of shook it off and went to my first worlds a couple years later, a couple months later, and it changed my life. And like the main thing was the night before I was dancing, I was looking around and I said to my teacher, it's one of the assistant teachers, my main teachers weren't even there. I just said, like, why does it feel like I'm walking next to all these Irish and English kids? Like what's going on here? It must be our school or it's our choreography or how we're taught or this or that. And she looked me right in the eyes and she said, Scott, it's because you're walking. And I was very offended. Like
Wow.
that's like both of you laughing. That's the correct response. I was
Right.
just like, oh, how dare you? Like what do you mean? Like I'm the one here at Worlds. And she's like, no, compared to what you could be doing,
Yeah.
you are
Mhm.
walking. And I was just such a punk about it. I was like, yeah, sure, okay. Like, no, it's probably our steps or something. I don't know.
Right.
And then next day I danced well for me, like no mistakes or anything, and not even close to recalling. But something inside me said, like, stay and watch the awards. I had never seen it before. My mom was even like, do you want to get out of here? No, I want to see it, like, see what this is all about. And that conversation with combined with what I saw changed my life because the guy that won, his teachers were doing our workshops. So he
Oh.
won doing some of the same steps as me.
Hmm.
And then I found out it was his fourth time winning. So I had what I now call my Taylor Swift moment of like, oh, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Um, and
I love that.
it's like it was just a wash over me. Like, oh, this is on me.
Yeah.
It's just such a slap in the face that I needed.
Did your teachers see that potential in you? Like, when they said you are walking and you can do so much more, did they could see something there?
I truly do. Like, I had to learn later to take it that way for
Yeah.
sure, because that's actually what she was saying.
Yeah.
She wasn't saying like, oh, you'll never be doing that. She's like, compared to what you could be, and that's what potential is.
Right.
Like, so, and with my parents, I like to say I'm very lucky. My parents knew nothing about Irish dance. They were just the epitome of support, no matter what. Like, it didn't matter how good we did, bad we did, whatever. It just, and I have some great stories of doing ridiculous things on stage and coming off, and my mom just being like, I thought it was great. And I'm like, well, like, it sticks out to me. Like, there's a reason those are core memories for me because the
Yeah.
support is what I needed. Um, but both my parents and my teachers, it, I mean, it's just easy for me to say they never gave up on me. So
Mm.
they must have seen my potential. And I'm very, very lucky because it took a lot of patience, especially for my dance teachers. Like it did, and especially like,
Right.
so I have this vivid memory of watching that stage that day and thinking like, okay, moving forward, every time I dance, it's all or nothing. Like it is all in giving everything that I
Yeah.
have or nothing. And in 1 year, like the next year at Worlds, like less than 12 months, I ended up sixth in the world. And
It's
it was
amazing.
insane. It's like I look back now, I'm like, that didn't happen. Like it's no way.
Right.
And the craziest part, my favorite part actually, that I'm trying to talk about more and kind of like really guides my coaching is I didn't practice outside of class. And we only
Mm.
had class 2 to 3 times a week.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
we didn't have private lessons, anything like that. It's just it was I didn't realize I was doing it at the time, but I was working smarter instead of working harder.
Sure. Sure.
And whenever I had a free 5 minutes in the corner, like I had to do whatever I had to do. Obviously, like being a boy, a little bit more one-on-one time. I do have that advantage, of course.
Hmm.
I'm never gonna not mention that, but I had that advantage before, and I was terrible. So like it was on me. And it's really important also that 12 months, I probably got a lot worse for the first like 6 to 8 months because I was really bad. And now I'm just going bigger and trying harder.
Oh,
Like a lot of things probably got better, but a lot of things probably got worse. So
yeah.
like that
You had to get your
patience that they have.
whole feet under you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't
Right.
click. It's not like I did amazing at that nationals right away. And I'm very lucky once again, the Rock just didn't have anybody against me. So I didn't have to slow down. And I
Mm.
call polishing slowing down because that's when we're supposed to like we polishing is not progress. Polishing is polishing. There's
Mm.
two different things. So I didn't have to slow down for my Roctus. So I get to like keep my foot on the gas and keep charging forward. It probably didn't click until like a month or two before that Worlds.
Hmm.
And I had no idea that I was dancing at a top 10 in the world level. I literally was like, I hope I get closer to recall and that'd be cool. And then I'm up there like next to the podium, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like that's and and then like I was very lucky. I then got to tour with Riverdance. I went on to tour with Lord of the Dance. I was at Busch Gardens for like
Nice.
12 years. I did Gale Force, like so many other shows. I've been in almost every show there is, and I'm very, very lucky. And a big part is like I ended up winning the Worlds in 2009. So that was 5 years from my first
Yep.
Worlds.
That's
I've only been
amazing.
to 4 Worlds total, and from going from there to winning in 5 years is insane. And I bring up the shows as well because one, like that's part of my story, but I love to point out that I was in all those shows way before I won anything.
Right.
Like it's so important to know that like you don't have to be a champ or anything like that.
Sure.
It helps, of
Sure.
course, but I like to say it gets you the interview. It doesn't get you the job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It,
it's really important for everyone to know that.
and so let's try to figure out where, the impetus for now, the mindset coaching that you do. You mentioned it like you had this epiphany and this experience where you recognized that like, yeah, that's on me. you know,
Right.
did you have a sense at that time that it was what we all know now is the sort of mindset shift, or what's been the evolution that went from that aha moment to the practice that you have now?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just kind of like paying forward all the advice I got. I like to say I'm just like a megaphone for everything that I got from
Yeah.
just friends helping me out to me actively seeking out advice and everything. Like, I mean, I have to give a shout out to Owen Barrington and Nick Jensen, that first tour of Riverdance. I mean, I was sixth in the world already, and they're like, Scott, like if you just like practice more and do these things, like you could win anything. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, no, that's just a different like human. No way. And they harassed me every single day until I believed it.
Yeah.
And I will never forget. It was Nick. I said it to the first time ever. Like I'm going to do whatever it takes to win the worlds, and it's that belief in me. And it's not even believing. It's more taking off limits. Like that's really the angle I like to look at it as. But then I actively sought out when I was in all the different shows. I would sit down with world champs that really respected and everything. Just ask them their story. And I just said, tell me your story from how you went from not winning to winning. And I looked for the patterns because every single person had unique things in their own stories. And I'm going to write a book about this someday.
Yeah,
I
good.
keep saying that I need to actually do it, but it's like all the conversations with world champs. Like I learned so much in the patterns and I just memorized that stuff and I just did that stuff and it worked. So now I just run around to anyone that will listen to me and just like, hey, do these things. Like it works. It's like if I could do it, like you absolutely can. Like because there's no I've nothing like no competitive advantage like naturally for Irish dance for me. Like I wasn't muscly, wasn't flexible. Like and some rhythm would probably be the closest thing that I had like just naturally. But I really think I got that skill from my brother. But it's just anybody can do it.
Let me probe that a little bit more because we like so I've been an Irish dance dad for the easy number for me to say is 100 years because it's too complicated.
That's how it feels.
Like how old is my oldest? When did she start? It's like how old am I? I'm 26. Like I know I look older, but 26. But through the course of that, like I've seen some absolutely beautiful machines is the phrase that I use. Like these people are
Yeah.
mechanically just organized around Irish dance, but also express it in the most artistic and beautiful way. And I sometimes feel, and I think it's easy for a lot of dancers to feel this way, and you're proving otherwise, like I sometimes think, man, they must really have this innate
Mm.
ability.
Mm.
I'm certain some people do. Some people are just
Oh,
sort of physically or
100%.
mentally like they are wired for
Yep.
that. But
Yeah. But
Yeah.
exception.
right. And this is, I see this in the work that I do. I'm a coach as well. Business development for lawyers is what I do. One of the things that we have to break down is you don't have to be a rock star. You don't have to pursue rock stardom. You just have to trust the process and trust
Yep.
yourself
Oh,
and
yeah.
do the thing. And that sometimes is hard for people to
It's
accept, to internalize.
absolutely.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and that's part of
It's
what, is that part of what you're doing now with the folks that you're talking to?
Yeah, yeah, and I love how you just put that too, because it's I like because I also coach like swimmers and rock climbers and other
Oh, cool.
styles of dance and everything. It's like a few musicians,
Cool.
and it's all the same stuff. It's just different words.
Right.
Like it's believing in yourself and doing the work. I love to say, like, my catchphrase is, my job is to quiet the noise in your head so you can get back to doing your job, and that's it.
Yeah, good.
But like it's so true though, like especially in dance. I've Some of my friends are those people. Like they started dancing when they were like 3 and they were amazing right away. And they just got it. And
Yeah.
it's amazing. I've worked with those teachers, and it's a blessing and a curse because they teach their dancers. They're like, this is just how you dance. And they're like, I don't understand. Like, this is just how you do it. And it's amazing because the dancers do like take that in eventually as a sponge. But I love being the one in the room, like looking, and you see the deer in the headlights, and they're just like, I don't know what we're doing here. And I'm like, you're my person. Like, let me help. Let me help. Like, it's because like it's not everyone's like that.
Yeah.
And I it's I can't speak for other sports in terms of like the top limits, but with Irish dance, because it's also an art, you can only jump so high and stay on time.
Mhm.
Like, we can only kick so high. Like, we're not gonna like start kicking like behind our head. Like,
Right.
you can only
Hopefully
turn.
not.
Like, we don't want backwards feet. Like, we want like sideways feet.
Right.
Like, there is a limit. So like in basketball, like I could train and be the best skills basketball player you'll ever meet. I'm never gonna be in the NBA. I'm way too short. Like, it's not gonna happen. In Irish dance, anyone can do this because it's so unnatural. Like, there's nothing about Irish dance that's natural, like for our bodies. And like there's
Thank you.
limits.
Yeah.
Like, it's 100%. Like, and it's really like part of all that too is understanding how unnatural it is, but also understanding what fight or flight does to your body mechanics. So like, if you're a bad Irish dancer, congratulations, you're just being a good human. Like, why would we judge ourselves for that?
Right.
Like, why are we judging ourselves for being bad at a thing we're not supposed to be good at in the first place? Like, that's
Yeah.
it's great. Like, it's like shedding the bad stuff helps slingshot you more than like just believing it all. And
Totally.
it's just anybody, and literally it's just science and everything, both in our minds and our bodies, but especially our bodies. Like, you want to be able to do this thing, great, stretch this and strengthen that.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, unless you have a physical or mental disability, which is very real, it's anyone can do these things. Like, and that's the beautiful part about our stance. It's probably what made me fall in love with it without even realizing it, like before I started coaching. But anybody can do this, and it's just figuring out what to do instead of just driving yourself into the ground, both like physically and mentally. Like, 'cause it's just, everyone thinks that's what it's going to be. And that's honestly, when I write that book, that will be one of the most important chapters that I learned from the world champs, that it wasn't more. I thought it was. It's just like, oh, I guess you got to practice more. It's like, nope, absolutely not. Like, it's like, and I just love kind of unlocking and explaining that to people, like how it's most things in dance and Irish dance specifically are opposite to what we think. It's so counterintuitive. So it's also, why would I ever judge anyone for not knowing? I didn't. I had to
Right.
figure it out. And I used to look at it as a regret. Like, I wish I had figured out earlier. Oh my goodness, what could I have done? All that. But now it's like, it's such a gift because I went from terrible to winning the worlds and being in all the shows when I was old enough to remember exactly how I did it. So now I'm like,
Yeah.
here's the
Oh,
blueprint.
Yes.
Like it's like I don't have to like, what did I do?
very
It's
cool
no, I know
perspective.
exactly
Yeah.
what. And
Right.
like
Right.
I even talk to like dancers, parents, teachers sometimes at workshops where they're like, how do you like that? The way you break that down is just so like next level. All these, I'm like, well, thank you. I didn't even realize, but I'm like the trick is I was bad at everything, so I had to figure it out like that. And the teachers were like, that makes sense because like I was always really good at like rocks, but like I don't know how to teach them because I was just really good at them. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it works. Like
Sure.
I was bad at everything, so like I know how to like break it down. But my biggest thing is I give 1,000 analogies and everything like that because I know your brain might not work like mine, yours might not work like mine.
Yeah.
So like it's not just about like, oh, this is the right way to do it. There's no one right way to do it. Absolutely not. Like everyone experiences. This is the first thing I say to anyone that signs on to work with me. Everything that you could tell me about what's going on with your dancing or nerves or anything, I guarantee you're like, I've heard it before. So like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not alone. Like, there's nothing crazy going on. But the way we have to problem solve has to be unique to you.
Right.
And that's why
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like people just banging their head against the wall trying to take generic advice. And it's like, that's why it's not
Right.
working.
Right.
Yes. That was something. So I've been working with Scott for about 2 years now. I dance in the adult category, and well, I did a little bit of dancing as a kid. I came back to it in my mid-20s, so I've been dancing like probably seriously for 10 years now. And all of the things you're saying is just 100% true. Like it's almost, and because I've become a teacher now too, and I'm in a similar position where I'm remembering, okay, how was I taught that? What worked well? What didn't? What different analogies have I heard over the years to help people teach these things? And it's interesting because it's almost like something that is perceived as, putting you as a bit of an underdog, right? Starting when you're older, becoming more competitive when you're older, actually ends up being this amazing tool and a gift that you can then
Yes.
pass on to your students. So I think it's really important to, point out to people that like
Yeah.
there's no problem with being old in Irish dancing or
Mm-mm.
old in whatever it else it is you're doing. You come in with such a different viewpoint and different experience that it ends up enriching the community at large. It's, I think,
Oh,
really important.
I love that.
So
Oh,
you're
I love
saying
that
that
so much.
there's still hope for me in a U60
Yes.
forehand?
Yes.
You want
Okay,
to do a
great.
two-hand, Kristo?
Yes.
Can we do
Do
that at
it.
the next fest in Minnesota? Let's do it.
Sure. That sounds great. I might not be
You look
available that
thrilled.
weekend, but sure. It's the standard joke that the dance dads at our school have
Yeah.
always. This is like, when are we going to do the O50? It's getting close to being a U60 now, so sooner rather than later, I think is the
Yeah.
timing. So good.
I love that.
So good.
Love that.
Yep.
Well,
Oh,
speaking of
Yep.
family
absolutely.
members, you have some great posts that you have put on social media, Scott, about like helping family members learn how to better support their dancers on competition days. Whether you're an adult and you're there with your family, your kid, your partner, or if you're a younger dancer and you're there with parents or grandparents or whoever, that's a huge dynamic on a competition
Mm.
day. And yeah, I was wondering if you could talk about how you've worked with families in that way.
Oh, absolutely. And I got into like actively trying to do more of this work for helping parents and family members and such because my only goal is like what is helpful. That's it. Like it's
Yeah.
so if I see a problem that's affecting people, I want to help it. So it's not just like, oh well, like parents need to do better. And like it's like no, it affects everybody on the day. That's why I like helping with the nerves and everything because that's all that work that we do. And I mean, I know for any parent too, it's heartbreaking when you see anything else get in the way and just whether it's nerves or like you have a fight that morning or something. It's so normal. Like it's just normal and natural because on that day, like we're so nervous, we're so stressed that like no one is a good problem solver. No one. Like I like to say like we all turn into
Right.
idiots. We
Right.
absolutely do. Like and like that's just what happens. And we instead of fighting against it, we want to accept it and plan for it. Like that's pretty much my whole coaching. Like instead of trying to like fight things, it's just like accept it, plan for it, and then we move forward. But with families and everything, like I usually start, because at a lot of workshops it's great. Like teachers will be like, yeah, let's have everybody, like we have the parents come in and sit with the dancers. And I want parents to hear things in front of the dancers. I want the dancers to hear things in front of the parents. It's very important. So that's not isolated. But I start with explaining to the dancers that the parents or like any family member, anybody's there to support them pretty much has a harder time nerves wise and stress wise because they care just as much, if not more, but they have zero control, like zero. And that's the worst place to be. Like, and I like my own experience. I don't have children, but like the closest, I'm so grateful for this experience because it kind of taught me how that must feel. Me and my buddy, our second show that we made, Christmas and Killarney, we were like, okay, we're not going to be in the show. Like we're just going to be behind the scenes and choreographing, directing, and doing everything we need to. And opening day, it was like, oh, this is amazing. We don't have to worry about what we're doing in the show. We don't have to worry about we don't have to worry about anything. Like, this is awesome. It's done. It's great. Oh my goodness, this is so stress free. The second the show started, both of us stopped breathing, and we're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I can't help. I can't help. I want to be on that stage so bad. Like I can't help. Like no matter. And they did a great job. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like it was just that I'm like, oh, I never felt that before. I'm like, that's what the parents are feeling. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So I explained to the dancers like they actually have it worse, which doesn't mean like that are let off the hook or anything like that. But you have to understand they're also stressed. Like the feeling that you're feeling, they're feeling too, if not worse. So like you have to have like a little bit of like empathy for it. And all the parents are usually like, yeah, like see, I told you. And then I'm like, all right, now you're not gonna like this next part. They're like, oh, like what? I'm like the hard part is that is true, and yet it's still not about you. It's not.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're stressed, all that, like it doesn't like it matters because it affects things, but it can't take priority. Like that's the hardest part because it's still their day. And anyone like when you're feeling that way is you're going to be snippy. You're going to snap at each other and all that. And like the number one thing I always recommend is pre-forgiveness. Like it's gonna happen. If something happens every single time, like not in our control, like not on purpose, why are we surprised by it? Like you gotta stop being surprised by it. Like that's the thing. Because the number one thing on the day that we want to avoid is getting surprised and flustered. Like that's the number one thing that we want to cut out. So like, why are we surprised that we're being like snippy with each other and all that? And then it just escalates and like it just gets bad and bad. But if you talk about it ahead of time, say, hey, I know I'm not going to be my best self. I might like have an attitude, all that. Like please forgive me ahead of time. And even in the moment, like sometimes you have to be like, I'm just going to let that go. We'll talk about it after. Like, but you just have to let it go. There's always a line. I'd never skip over this. Like there is, if you cross the line, that's still crossing a line. Like, and that's not okay. So it's not a free pass. Like I'm like, all you dancers, like you don't get a free pass to talk however you want.
Yeah.
But like I remember doing like one time my mom was just trying to be helpful. She's like, oh, they're calling you up and everything like that. And I was like, I'll go up when I'm ready to go up. And I like stormed off. And I remember like storming and I turned right back around and came back. I'm like, I am so sorry. Like I did not mean to do that. I am so sorry. But like it happens. The hard part is that parents, siblings, even like anybody, you don't remember in the moment that kids, and when I say kids, I mean children of people. It doesn't matter what age.
Right.
Like are wired to do the opposite of whatever your parents or like sibling or like whatever they tell you. It like you could be telling them the exact right thing, and as soon as you say it, they're like, "Well, then I'm not doing it."
Yep.
Like that's how it works. It's just how it works. Like so, and that's also why like the biggest thing, like parents are always saying, like, "What do I do with if they ask for like feedback or like trying to tell them to do things?" I'm like, they already have a teacher. They don't need that. They don't need another teacher.
Yeah.
They need, and I'm like, you've seen this child like not know how to walk and hold a spoon, and like you have to tell them how to not die daily. Of course, you're gonna want to jump in, but like you have to just let them, even if you're letting them fail on their own. Like they have to learn, but they already have a teacher, and whenever you say the things, you might be saying the exact right thing, and like it's actually less helpful because they're going to do the opposite. So this is what I always say, and it always gets like an audible groan throughout the room. I just ask them, are you more concerned with being right or with being helpful? And it's always like,
so
they're
good.
Like, damn.
So good.
Like, because it's true. Like, that's the thing. You can't, like, if you're going to say the right thing, they do need to start warming up or they need to be doing, like, if you say it, they're not going to.
Yeah.
And then you start fighting and arguing, and then like we have a stress meter inside of our bodies. I like to say it's like a thermometer graphic, like when you do donations. And there's a certain line that if it goes over that line, everything goes out the window. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter who you are, how prepared
Yep.
you are. So like we want to keep it under that line because when you go on stage, like side stage, on stage, you're gonna have a big chunk of that stress hitting no matter what.
Right.
So we want to be low enough so that when it hits, like you're still under the line.
Yeah.
But like just adding to that stress and everything of the day, it just snowballs. And we gotta have a good plan. And it's also talking about these things, talking about feelings, talking about
Yeah.
what bothers us. Like a lot of parents don't even know that when they do or say something, it really like irks the dancer.
Right.
But how would they know?
They
Right.
would.
Like the
Yeah.
dancers like just yelling them and having an attitude about everything, so they don't actually know which one's which. Like, but like if the dance practice says actually when you do this, like it makes me feel this way, and like it doesn't help. Imagine having that information ahead of time.
Yep.
Like it's awesome.
Right. Right.
Like
Yeah.
so it's just having those conversations like ahead of time. It's so
I'm
important.
certainly not saying that my family has all the answers, but the thing that's like that we do is I'm sorry, I feel mean right now. Like
I
for
love
a
that.
I like
variety of
that,
reasons,
yeah.
right? I feel mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that. I feel
I
mean.
love it.
Right?
That's
Like
Really
that's
like
so
that.
great.
then we're
Yeah.
like
That's so
all
great.
in it together, you know? It's just like,
Yes.
Yeah.
we
And
are.
the wording there is perfect. Feel
Yeah.
mean,
I
not
feel mean.
am
I'm
mean.
not am mean. I'm not being, yeah, right. And
Yeah.
that sounded mean to you, and I'm super sorry. You know,
Yeah.
Like that.
I didn't intend to
Yeah.
be mean. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so Scott, there are other, you're still doing productions, not necessarily, are you performing in them or creating them or both? Let's talk a little bit more about like the other parts of the creative
Yeah.
things in your life and a little bit about how that continues to inform. Like what I'm hearing from you and what I try to do, Julia and I have talked about this sort of philosophy of sort of being like lifelong learners
Mm.
and being open to that. It certainly seems like you're embracing that kind of philosophy. And there are in creative endeavors so many opportunities to learn and become introspective and think, oh, I could borrow that and use that the next time, you know, like
Yes.
maybe
Oh.
this references too is I'm so old. The movie Fame, one of the acting students was like, oh, I have to remember this feeling and use it in my acting. But like that's the nut of like always learning, like a mentality for always learning. So let's talk a little bit about that in your life.
Definitely like lifelong learner. I'm addicted to learning. I think like I'm just always searching for whether it's podcasts or just graphics or people to follow, just conversations that you can always learn from everyone around you. And it always goes back to working smarter, not just harder. So like there's always going to be a better way to do it. Like it's definitely like my ADHD brain as well, like always just looking for like a better system. Because like it's always about your systems. But yeah, like I left that part out of my journey after like Riverdance, Florida Dance, all that. I started my own show with my buddy, Rock and Road to Dublin, and I was in that one as well. It's like it is not wouldn't recommend being in and trying to create like a show and production like yourself,
Sure.
running a tour, all that. It's very stressful. But like we always say, had we known like how hard it was going to be, we probably never would have done it. So it's like great that we're young and dumb enough to like just like yeah, we can pull this off because then
Love
we
it.
did. Like once again, no limits. Then we did, and like we loved it. We toured all over. COVID kind of like put a stop to that one for a
Mm.
little bit. We're hoping to bring it back. We're working on things in the background to figure out how to do that.
Cool.
But then we created the show Kristo and Killarney as well because we're actually uh, coming up with the concept for it for a theme park, and
Great.
then their budget ended up getting pulled away, so couldn't do it. But we're like, we really love this idea. So then we're like, yeah, let's do it and let's tour it. And it's then we're like, wait, we have this show now, like that show, and like I guess we're a production company. And then we start like I mean, my buddy, he's a drummer. He went to school for production and everything like that. He can build anything. It's amazing. But we do a lot of shows with theme parks and a lot of different work with theme parks as well. And
Cool.
it's just we created this company, Colony Point Creative, and it's because I rent a room in his house, and like it's basically been until we got a warehouse, it was our everything. We worked from here, we store costumes, we like built it, like it's crazy, and it's on Colony Point Road, like
Okay.
so like
Nice.
we no matter what happens for the future, like we want to remember where we came from.
Cool.
Um, And like but it's just constant creative. Like it's just coming up with crazy ideas and all these things, and like it's constantly learning how to do things better and all that. Like my buddy wants to write a book because he wants to kind of like guide people how to make productions, because
Oh, cool.
so many people hold it as like this like trade secret, and we're like, no, we'll tell you. Like we'd much rather you learn from our mistakes instead of having to make them yourself.
Right.
Like we love helping people.
Get more of that out there.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
oh,
love so much
seriously.
is that, like, I mean, not to like, kind of pull things back to the mindset stuff, but, you do have so many good, unique ways of looking at how to compete in Irish dance, how to perform and everything like that.
Mm,
And you are a megaphone for it, like so much of what we see in this community sometimes is like holding secrets, holding our cards close to our chest because we want to have the best, as opposed to like, I want everyone to be better and I want everyone to succeed and I want this entire art form to be elevated. So that's one of the things that I love about your work is that you are sharing all of this with people, right? And you're like, here is my creativity. I'm going to give it to you and you can run off and do what you can do with it. It's pretty
mm.
cool. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for saying that. I love it. I like whenever I'm trying to, and a lot of dancers don't get it right away, but then once they start doing, they're like, I get what you meant now, because I
Mhm.
don't want to help dancers get better. I want to help dancers get better at getting better. Like, because that's the thing. If you like start that snowball and just get better at getting better, and you optimize your systems and all that, like, oh my goodness, the productivity that you can squeeze out of everything, get so much more progress doing way less work
Right.
and all that, because it's so hard on our bodies already.
Well, and
But
that's what brings it back
really
to
important.
having it be their solution for them. That it's,
Yes. Yes.
so then it becomes more easy to internalize and execute and embrace that sort of constant need to improve that
Yeah.
competitive people have. So
Yep. Yep.
it's
It gets
amazing.
addicting. It really does.
Oh,
It's like
sure.
I love when I see a dancer like they start to like get that itch, and it's like it's just it becomes addicting going for more and progress and all that, because what the game of Irish dance is, that like it's not just making progress, it's a race of progress. Because I do love the generic advice of like it's you versus you, because that's true.
Yep.
But on the day, you are against other people.
Yep.
Like, and it matters how they dance and how you dance. So like you need to make more progress than they are, faster than they are. That's it. So like that's why your systems matter. It's not just making progress. It's how do we make the most progress, like the quickest. And I love asking dancers, I'm like, what is the number one skill that you think an Irish dancer needs? And it might be like hard work or stamina, like might be some technique like turnout or rhythm or timing. I'm like, those are all very important. But the number one skill is problem solving. Because when you're trying to make anything better, whether it's your own dancing, when you're trying to create a show, it's just problem solving. And it's creative problem solving. Because if you already knew the exact solution, you'd already be doing it. So you got to be creative and just like try some random crap. Like, because like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. And a lot of the coaching, like I'm okay with my ego. I don't know. I don't have the answers. It's like it's always like, try it this way. I don't know. And like then when it works, it's like, yay, great, let's do that. If it doesn't, like, never mind, I was wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't have a problem being wrong. Like and I think that's actually the key. Like if you wanted one trait for all like the world champs or anybody that does anything great in life, it's that like we know we're wrong a lot and we're okay with it. Like we don't care about looking stupid or anything like that. It's just it doesn't feel good, but like it's just not a priority. Like I'm wrong all the time,
Yep.
and I'm okay with it.
Highlights the growth areas, that's for sure.
There was a great
Yeah.
story that you've told me before, Scott, thinking about like just trying something, being creative with your problem solving, right? Like trying something over and over again and trying different ways until it clicks. I think it was when you were filming some rhythms during COVID for a video and you wanted to do like the box click in the air. Can you tell that story? Because I think that is just like spot on.
Yeah. So like my big thing with, and because there's no such thing as supposed to or like should do it this way or whatever with anything. There's more likely to work or not, but like I don't know your body. And I tell dancers all the time, I like to trigger dancers on purpose up front and then like explain what's going on. But say they're doing something, it's not working. I'm like, hey, are you trying to do that right? Like, are you even trying to do that correctly? And understandably, they're just like, yes, of course. I'm like, like the, I needed to rip that band-aid off because I believe you. Because a lot of times dancers don't feel like teachers believe them. So I'm like, I 100% believe you. I can see that you're working, you're trying. They're like, okay, good. I'm like, is it working though? And they're like, well, I'm like, is how you're trying to do it, is it working? They're like, no. I'm like, then stop trying to do it that way. Right? That's it. Like, that's it. You're trying to do it the right way, what you think is the correct way. Great. I love that work ethic. Is it working? Then no. Like, and stop doing it that way. Simple as that. And I was annoyed during COVID because I saw so many people recording videos and stuff like that. There was so much time to do all that. I broke my pinky toe at the start of like COVID, just not doing anything cool. I caught it on the edge of the couch,
Oh, it's
and
just so
couldn't
painful.
because it really was. But like, so even when it was better, like I wasn't dancing yet in shoes or anything, but I got obsessed with it. It was like just bang, bang, toes, heels, 1, 2. It was just like bang, bang, da 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 da. I just loved it. I was just obsessed with it. I did it like a million times a day. And the first time I had my shoes on in the studio, I went to do it and I just kept whiffing the toe. And I was getting so angry. I was holding on to it. I'm like, why isn't this work? Like, I know how to hit my toes. Why isn't this working? And I tried a bunch of, and then I just stopped and I'm like, stop. What do you say? Tell the dancers. Like, they're like, it's stop doing it that way.
Yep.
And a lot of times you don't realize your body trying to do it a certain way. Like you're trying to do it right, but your body might like pull up higher or go slower or faster. You don't realize it. So you have to pay attention. So then I stopped and I'm like, clear my brain, clear the frustration. I noticed one of my feet was going way higher than the other. Like I couldn't hit it. So even though I was trying to, like I was aiming correctly, like quote unquote correctly, but that foot wasn't doing that. So I'm like, okay, easy. Now I have to try to point that foot because for some reason, let's say it's like 30 degrees like off. I need to now do 30 degrees lower because my foot's still going to go 30 degrees higher than I want it to. But great. Instead of trying to do it right, like just adjust for the wrong thing. And then I did it instantly, hit it every time. And I remember like the first time or two, I just like walked away with my hands up. I'm like, of course that works. But like, that's the thing. Like, once again, it comes down to our egos of like, are you more concerned with being right or it working? Because you might aim for this, but your body's like, I'm gonna do this over here on the left. You're like, but I want this. And you can spend every waking hour like working on it and get better and better and better and better and better. And it'll take forever, but you did it. Awesome. Or you can just, because your body wants to do the thing on the left, great. Aim for the thing on the right. Your body's still going to pull to the left and now meet in the middle. And that's exactly what you can problem solve better and faster by just letting your ego go and being like for mine, like I dance way too fast and I'm okay with that. Like I hate it. There's a difference between liking it and being okay with it. Like
Right.
I've acknowledged it. I'm okay with it. I hate it.
Right.
Like, but like I know in order to dance on time, like I have to aim for too slow, not aim for correct. Like it doesn't matter how long. Like I've tried for years and years and years try to get that timing correct. Nope, I have to actually aim for slower than I think is correct, like actually wrong, and it works. And it's one of those things. Like I detest every second of it because I'm like I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Like, but it works, and like that's
Yeah.
what matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how it feels; it matters how it looks.
Yeah.
Instead of saying and getting frustrated, I know how to do this.
Yes.
Try it again, try it again, try it again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, we all know you know how to do this,
Yeah.
right? Do it
Yeah.
differently now,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's not working the way you're
It's
you're
not,
doing
that's
it.
not the way to
And
do it then. If it's not working, that's the definition of it's not the right way to do it.
Get into the always learning mindset. And it's just
Yeah.
like, maybe I don't know how to do this, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yep.
I think I do, but I don't, you know?
Yeah.
And especially
And
when
like,
you have how many years of experience behind you to be able to admit to yourself, I don't know how to do it correctly. Like that is,
Yeah.
I think, revelatory, right? Just being comfortable with yourself and knowing yourself well enough to say, hey,
oh yeah,
do something different, right?
and Irish dance is
cares?
always evolving. Most of the things that dancers are doing now, like I didn't do. I have to learn so that like I don't believe I can just coach by like guessing. Like don't get me wrong, most coaching actually is guessing. Like that's I tell on teachers all the time at workshops. I'm like they'll say like, oh yeah, you got to definitely do it this way. They don't know. Like they're kind of like, I hope that works. But like, because they don't know your body, like
Right.
that's the
Right.
thing. But
Right.
like having to teach yourself how, I'm I've been told by of like women dancers and teachers, I'm oddly good at teaching some like quote unquote girl moves like toes or something like that because
Yeah.
even more than the stuff I did competing, I really had to learn how to do that. And
Sure.
I love going straight to the sources as well. Like I study, I literally watch game tape. I'm like, what are they doing? What am I doing? What are they doing different? Like you have to study, but then also asking all my friends that I'm like, you're one of the best toe like walk dancers I've ever seen. How do you do this? And like they're like, oh, you just do it. I'm like, oh, that's how you do that? Like it's amazing. Like
It's a lot easier than you think.
everybody like loves like the Gardner brothers, of course, like and they're the nicest guys in the world.
Hmm.
The dancer that wanted their ankle shaker
Oh
move
yeah,
in
yeah.
a set dance. And I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely like figure this out. Like, or I can just ask them. And I sent them a message, and oh my goodness, they sent me like so many voice notes. They're because
Oh,
they're the nicest
cool.
guys. Like, but when I say the detail that they broke it down to, and
Oh man.
Amazing.
I played it for the dancer. I'm like, this is what it takes to be great. It's not just
Yeah.
like shake and like do the like they were saying how they like spread their toes
Oh,
and like
wow.
which toe they're even thinking about and like what they're aiming for and how they jump, how they the
That's amazing.
detail was insane. It was so cool. Like, and I'm once again like it's just like being a nerd about these things. It's just
Yeah.
I love it. I love learning. I'm like that's how that
It's
works.
good.
Awesome. But once again, it's let's find the faster way to do this instead of just like beating our heads against the wall. I'm like, yeah, you'll get there eventually, but like let's not put ourselves through that.
Yeah,
Like
especially
you
in a
don't have
sport
to.
that just, like, can wreck your body if you're not careful,
It's
right? Like,
oh my
I've had
goodness.
so
If
many
you
conversations with
oh,
you about this, right? Like,
yeah.
as a pianist, I used to have to practice 6 hours a day, and as an undergrad, can't do that as an Irish dancer, and I always feel
Mm-mm.
lacking, and you're the one that said, like, "You're gonna destroy yourself. You need to figure out a different way to do this," right? Like,
Yep.
that's so important
Yep. Yeah.
just so that you
More
can
is not
do it for
better.
better. Yeah, if you can do it for
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more is not because even when you're doing it, the most functional, the healthiest, all that, Irish dance still wrecks your body because it's not. We're not supposed to be doing this. Like
At
once
all.
again, like
It's
my
not
other like
normal.
dance friends, like not normal even a little. They're like, how do you jump and land without like plie and like bending your knees and sticking your butt out? And I'm like, I don't know. Like we just do it. But it also like that alone says how much stronger we have to be than like
Mhm.
we even like think. But it's it really is. It's more important to be doing it right than it's to be doing it more. Like the one of the things you have to accept is like dancers come to me all the time. They're like, "Can you help me?" Either like one, the two biggest things I hear are not be nervous. I'm like, "Well, I got bad news for you. Like, you're always going to be nervous because like being nervous is not a bad thing. It's because you care.
Yep.
Like, we don't want to demonize being nervous. We just don't want to let it take over. But it's because you care. Like, how could that ever be a bad thing? But then number two is I hear it all the time. Can you help me like figure out how to focus on stage more? And I went, no. Like, and they're like, what do you mean no? I'm like, it's never gonna happen. Like every dancer comes off stage and they have some form of like, did I dance? Like, did I do my second
Yep.
step or the spin? Like, does anyone know? What did I do? Like, and that's so normal. Like, and we could spend the next 10 years with neuroscientists trying to figure out like why that happens. Is it stress, trauma, like is just adrenaline? Who knows? But let's just accept that that happens, which that means is the ultimate game of autopilot. Like you need your autopilot perfect. Like
Yep.
it needs to, there's no other options. Like do not give your body options of how to dance. There's only one way so that when you get on stage, your body only knows one way. And like, therefore, it matters more the percentage of times you're doing it correctly than the number of reps.
Mhm.
Like I would rather you do something like 10 times and 9 out of the 10 you're killing it than doing it 50 times but you got 30 of them correct.
Mm.
People are like, well, I got 30 correct. Like that's more than 9. That's better. Like no, but like you only have like that much of a chance of actually doing it on stage though.
Mhm.
Like that's the thing. It has to be, it's all autopilot. And it's once again, getting your ego out of the way and just giving up that control of like, cause you can still push, you can like have general themes on the day, but you're not going to think of every tiny little detail.
Right.
So like you can't practice relying on your brain because you're not going to be able to rely on your brain. So like that's a lot of the and it's all tied together too, because like that helps your nerves if you know your autopilot only has one way to dance, and no matter what, you're going to do it. Because one of the biggest things with our nerves is walking on stage and having no idea what's going to happen. Like, of course you're terrified. You have no idea what's going to happen. Like your best and your worst, and that's a big old gap.
Yeah.
So like, it's not just enough to get better at everything, because now there's a big old gap still. We need to close that gap. So like at your best or your worst day, you're still only dancing in that like small little like bracket.
Yeah.
And that, oh my God, I can't think of a better way to have confidence, because like because true confidence, in my opinion, isn't knowing you can do it. It's knowing that like, even if you have your worst day, like your actual worst day, worst dancing, you're still incredible. Like that's true confidence. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Like I can win this. Like, even if I have a bad day, then the nerves just melt away. Like that's true confidence.
That's such a great way to close this, I think.
Yes, I think so too.
You know, it really like sums it all up really well. Scott, it's great to meet you. I'm
You too.
Yeah, very glad
this
that
is
we
so
had
great.
this opportunity to talk and learn about what you're working on and your journey. At some point, Julia and I may have to have a podcast for non-neurotypicals.
Let's
do an ADHD high five right now.
Yes, 100%.
That's been a big part of fueling our pursuits and creativity as well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you shared that. It's important, I think, for people
so important
to hear that.
So many,
and it changes how we
you know,
problem solve and how we're creative in what we're doing, right?
100%.
Yep.
And it's a gift also. Like if I can figure out how to do these things with my ADHD and my high anxiety and all those things, if I can figure out that, imagine like giving those systems and tools to someone that doesn't have that brain. Like if it can work for my scatterbrain, oh my goodness.
100%.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate your time. This has been awesome. I'm sure in the future, maybe we can do a follow-up and have more conversations. It'd be wonderful.
We'd love to do that.
Yes.
Yep. Thanks again, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Planksty Podcast. Our technical producer is Kristo Sween. Our managing producer is Julia Topper. Theme music composed and performed by Sean O'Brien. New episodes drop on the 17th of every month.